Enoi Extreme Media UJ. Subscribe for all updates.
I'll be hesitant for now to pass on congratulatory messages because I believe there is still some issues to be taken care of. But anyhow, it's good that we are back. Some people aside have not congratulated them. It's okay. You have people to congratulate you. Right, Honourable Speaker? Please protect me from members who want me to congratulate them by force, Right Honourable. I certainly cannot congratulate anyone by force.
Colleagues, congratulations are voluntary. Okay, so we have congratulated Honourable Joel.
Who?
I have congratulated.
Oh, you did? I didn't hear that, Right Honourable.
You might be having issues as a leader of opposition.
Anyhow, Right Honourable Speaker, I wanted to react to your communication and also seek for some guidance. Last week we were here briefly as we were sending off our colleague, the Honourable Stella Isodo. We had just come out of the election. I did raise some critical concerns. The view of the presiding officer was that let me raise them at our next sitting today so that we get some guidance. We want to be able to move without baggage. When we take care of this baggage, it becomes easy to deal with the business that we have got to take care of, Right Honourable Speaker. We have just come out of an election. And regardless who you ask, by the way, whether it be me or colleagues on this side, whether it be colleagues on this end, whether it be bystanders, there are issues that are of critical concern that we need to address as a country. I'm hoping colleagues have taken time to read reports, observer reports, because the Electoral Commission did accredit observers to observe our elections. And they released reports. Please take time to read them. When you read the African Union Observer Report, Interreligious Council of Uganda, and so on, and they raise critical issues, which I believe this Parliament has got to interest itself in. Issues to do with the credibility of our election, issues to do with brutality before, during, and after the election. By the way, for information to colleagues, the election is not just an event. It's a process. Campaigns are part of the election. And how they are conducted, how candidates are treated or otherwise, that's part of the election itself. And it feeds into the credibility issues that we are raising. So the brutality, people killed, candidates ill-treated, and so on, critical concerns that have got to be addressed by this Parliament. People are still abducted. Right Honourable Speaker, on the eve of the election, colleague leaders in my political party, one, our Deputy President in charge of Western Uganda, Jolie Jacqueline Tukamushaba, a lady who is well known to you, was abducted. To date, her whereabouts are not known. The Honourable Lina Zedriga, our Deputy President in charge of Northern Region, was abducted on election eve. To date, her whereabouts are not known. A gentleman called John Mary Sebof, who is a councillor, and several others. You see the challenge about these issues. We keep raising them and some colleagues say, but you are pestering us. Yes, we shall pester using this platform that we have. It is unacceptable that people get abducted and their whereabouts are not known for one day, for a week, come into 2 weeks. Why can't people be produced in court? Government needs to help us understand. I'm not above the law. No one is. I can be suspected to have committed an offense. But what does the law say? Arrest me vis-a-vis the law, produce me in a court of law. But when you hold me somewhere, family cannot access me, lawyers cannot access me. What do you want us to do? What do you want people to do? And when you complain about these issues, some people think we are being too much. Perhaps until it happens to you. And it has happened to colleagues, by the way, across the aisle. So these are critical issues. First, detach the political affiliation and whatever you think is the reason for this person's arrest. But can the law prevail? And these concerns have got to be addressed, Right Honourable Speaker. Hundreds of people arrested, polling agents, people held in police cells for more than the 48 hours that are allowable within the law. That is not proper. And when we raise these issues, let's address them as people's representatives. Forget that I am NUP or NRM, because it can happen to any of us. These foundational principles have got to be respected and fought for by all of us in this room, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I saw and I see the good doctor, Minister of Information, is here with us. My party leader, after the election, his house was raided, the Honourable Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert, who is an OB of this house. He managed to sneak away. I kept seeing the military, I kept seeing the Minister of Information here saying no one is after him. But as they were saying that, the military was continuously descending on his home, raided it, broke into it, beat up his wife and family members. And the following day, the minister and other dignitaries were saying, no one is after this man. I said, look, just like I have made it succinctly clear, no one is above the law. If there is an offense that the Honorable Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert is suspected of having committed, whether it be running for president, some people think it is an offense that you can challenge the Bush war general, and so it's an offense. Whatever offense it is, why don't summons get to be issued to him? So that then he's able to show up and is charged. Honourable Speaker, yesterday, his siblings tried to access his home. After the minister again said, no, all is well, people can access. His siblings went there yesterday. And police officers, several of them deployed there, they said, we don't have authority to allow anybody to access his place. I want to know, is it official that the Honourable Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert is under house arrest? And for that matter, people cannot access his family. And for that matter, it should continue this way. Because why are you not summoning him if there's a particular offense that he has committed? And again, Honourable Speaker, let's forget that this is the leader of the NUP, which you might not like. That's okay. But this is a Ugandan. This is a leader for all intents and purposes. Why is the law operating this way? And Honourable Speaker, the good minister here has got experience with the law being absquatulated. He suffered a similar fate when he was abducted. He was taken away for days on end. His family members were looking for him. Colleagues in this house spoke out on the Hansard, by the way. They said, where is Honourable Chris Baryomunsi? Government, where have you taken him and all the others? People fought for you. Yes. Until eventually, government, due to the pressure exerted by members here and elsewhere, they produced the gentleman in court. But we're saying, why were you hiding him wherever and treating him the way they were? Right, Honourable Speaker.
Conclude, Law.
The final issue which I think this House has got to be addressed on. We were here a few months ago. Government came to us with a supplementary budget, as they normally do. And we are going to have several others. I normally tell the Minister of Finance, why don't you plan properly? When you keep bringing here supplementary budgets for obvious things, it is quixotic. Anyhow, they brought us supplementary and said we need to purchase these machines. I and the Hansard can really, bear me witness. I said, look, we want to purchase these machines expensively at this point in time. What has changed? In the last election, we used these machines. They failed to function. The census came around. The machines failed to function. And now government was telling us, here is the panacea to vote rigging. And it was interesting that government was conceding that they preside over a government that allows vote rigging and all of these different things. And they said, now we have a solution so that votes will not be rigged by government officials, because government is the one in charge anyway. These machines, when you see how much we spent on them, it was nearly 400 billion shillings. Part of that was to purchase the machines. Part of that was to train operators. The other was to hire people who were going to operate them. The other billions were to integrate features on the ballot paper so that when you scan it with the machine, it functions. All of that came at a cost. But alas, on election day, the machines failed to work. And we said, wait a minute, how come they have been functional? Honourable Speaker, we were here in the conference hall. The Electoral Commission officials came very excited and they presented to members of Parliament. Some of you were there. And the machines functioned. And members were happy. Of course, others were sad, saying, so if this thing functions properly, will I survive? I saw those concerns from members. But we're saying technology is a good thing in this day and era. But we go to election day and the machines fail to operate. By 11, by midday, people were not voting. And the Electoral Commission issued a statement and said, okay, let's go back to the register. I said, what happened? We need an answer because we spent billions of taxpayers' money. Is it that fake machines were procured? That means somebody has got to be held responsible. Is it that good functional machines were procured? However, they were frustrated from working. We need to know. The interesting thing, Right Honorable Speaker, 2 days ago, we were voting for the last batch of local government leaders. I saw the machines were functional. So I asked, what miracle has happened? That the machines which failed to work at presidential and parliamentary, district chairpersons, lord mayors, and so on, now when we are doing the last leg, the final one, the machines functioned. Government needs to bring us up to speed. What happened? Because a loss was occasioned for the first elections. So all of a sudden they began to function. Was the problem fixed? Did we purchase new ones? Or did we say maybe for these particular elections, these last local government elections, there is no problem. The machines can work. There is not much interest. We want to know because I get the feeling that the machines were conveniently defective. As I wrap up, Right Honorable Speaker. And I thank you for being patient with me because these issues are critical, of concern not just to us here. Honorable Speaker, you're not seeing colleagues on this end. A number of them are happy I'm raising these issues. They fear to raise them, but they're happy I'm representing them now. Yes, because for you, are you not bothered that 400 billion shillings was misused? It went down the drain. Would that not build roads in your constituency? Fix hospitals? Because whenever, during the budget process, and you're going to see, members across will be standing up, my road, it has been on promise, it's been on waiting list for a long time. This money would fix those things. But now it went down the drain. Right Honorable Speaker, we need answers to these questions. I thank you.
Thank you. On BVVK, the Minister for Justice should come and bring a formal statement. Because, you know, some of these things raised are so critical, you don't need to just answer anyhow without very clear consultations. And I heard government was saying they are even doing, they were doing investigations. So I think that would give them, no, it is under Electoral Commission. So it's the Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs who is in charge of the Electoral Commission that should answer that one of the machines. Now, I'll first call on the Minister for Internal Affairs, then the Minister for Information and National Guidance. No, issues of accessibility of the home of the leader of opposition. All right, Honourable Prime Minister, you're welcome. Because they were saying they went, police was blocking them and all that. Is Chagwanya under house arrest and all that? Maybe the Minister for Internal Affairs can clarify on that. And then the Minister for Information, who was rescued by this house according to the leader of opposition some time back, can come and thank us. Minister for Internal Affairs. You see, no, you are telling me information, now you've changed procedure, but I will allow you, Honorable. Just let me first allow the ministers, then I will allow you. Honorable Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I also want to congratulate all of you who made it through, including, but not limited to, the leader of opposition, who by his account, this was an unfair process, but nevertheless, he made it. He talked about many things, including that the home of the Honorable Chagulanyi is a prison. But I want to say that, first of all, a prison presupposes that there are prisoners in a premise. That home is not a gazetted prison. The Honorable Chagulanyi himself is not there. So I want to state categorically that that home is not a prison. There may be inconveniences, and security may have reasons for their presence there. I think those ones we can iron out, but the home of the Honorable Chagulanyi is not a prison. Two, I abductions. We don't abduct, we arrest. So if you breach the law, you get arrested. And we can account for all those people under custody. They may delay to be produced, but we don't abduct as government. Thank you.
Honourable Minister for information, and then you can come.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. I also take the opportunity to congratulate colleagues who went through and thank whoever participated. I think many of the issues to do with the arrests, the Minister of Internal Affairs has commented. But just to recap what I told the country as the Minister of Information, is that there are no charges being preferred against the Honorable Kyagulanyi, and the state is not looking for him. He's a free man. That's the point I made. He chose on his own volition to go into hiding. The state is not interested in him, otherwise the state would pick him from wherever he is, because we know. You know, we have technology to trace people, but because we are not interested in him, that's why I said he's free to be in his home. At the moment, he's not at the home, but he's free anytime and members of his family. There is a light deployment at his home, not to harass anybody, but for Ugandans not to use the home as a public disorder hub for purposes of security. There are security interests. And therefore there is some access control. Because again, also when the head of the home is not there, you wouldn't want the whole crowd of Ugandans to just swim there. So there's some control, but harmless. So, leader of opposition, your leader is not wanted by the state, and advise him to be at home, provided he doesn't engage in law breaking. There is no problem with that. Secondly, it is not true that I have ever been abducted by this government. In 2012, we had an issue in this house where a colleague died in circumstances which were not clear. I was tasked by the House as a commissioner of Parliament to be part of the team to find out what had happened. Unfortunately, there was like a misunderstanding between the government and us in the Parliament, and I was arrested on my way to Fort Portal and detained at the Ginger Road Police Station, produced in the Buganda Road Court, given bail, and for 9 months we battled with the government, and I defeated the government and forgave the government. Yes. And actually, Mr. General Kare Kaihura apologized to me officially, because I also told the president that I am a qualified medical doctor, and I knew what I was doing in that investigation. I remember we had an argument before, and I told him I will defeat you in court, because I am a senior doctor, highly qualified, by the way, and there is no law I had broken, and indeed court agreed with me. So insinuations that I was abducted, I know the Honorable Ssemuju usually wants to use it all the time and the opposition, but that one is long past, so I just wanted to clarify. And I was working as a commissioner.
Point of order.
Okay.
Mr. Speaker, first of all, I have not said anything since I came here. But the Honorable Chris Baryomunsi, who was charged for stealing Nebanda's body parts, wants to draw me in an argument where I am not a party. I went to see him at Ginger Road Police, where they had denied him even sandals. And I followed this matter up to court, stood with him. Is he in order not to thank me? But to keep dragging me in his submission and create an impression that I have said something, yet I have said nothing. Is he in order?
Honorable Ssemuju, when Honorable Chris was presenting, I saw you, on your face I saw signs which are not usual. You are not the usual you. So I think since he's a qualified doctor and highly qualified, he might have understood you better, that you're concerned or you are so. Huh? So, but at least you should thank Honorable Ssemuju for what he did.
No, actually, Honorable Ssemuju is my friend.
Did he bring you sandals even, or he just observed and went away?
I want to thank the Honorable Ssemuju because actually he came, and many colleagues came to visit me, but he came empty-handed. He came empty-handed. But I appreciate he was concerned, but he even wrote a story in Observer which misquoted what he claims I have said, but that's for another day. But I want to thank him and the other colleagues. And I remember the Honorable Amuriat and the Honorable Nabu Kenya and the Honorable David Bahat stood surely for me in court. So it's true, there was support in the parliament during that time, because we were fighting for the welfare of a colleague who had died in circumstances which were not clear. And I've already said, if it happened again, I would still do the same that I did then, to fight for the rights of somebody, especially who can't speak for himself or speak for herself in those circumstances. So I have no regrets for what I did on behalf of Parliament then as a parliamentary commissioner. So you should never use it to blackmail me or to think that I will feel shy because of the role that I played as a commissioner in this house. But I also want to put on record that the charges were not about stealing body parts. No. No, it was not about stealing body parts. That will be for another day. Now, you, Right Honorable Speaker, my plea to the honorable members and all of us as leaders, and that's the point I have been making in the media, that we are done with elections. Presidential, parliamentary, local government at LC5, municipal councils, waiting now for the LC3 and town councils to complete this process. Whoever is aggrieved with the results, there is a channel for court to petition, so that if you adduce evidence to the courts, then the courts can listen to you. But inciting the public for people to go into riots and violence, I think is not helpful for both of us in the government, even for you in opposition, because we want a stable Uganda. If you think you were rigged or you were treated unfairly, there are channels of court, but not an civilized way of inciting Ugandans. And security has a responsibility to ensure that you and I are safe in this country, because me being a candidate, whether presidential, parliamentary, is not a license to threaten you and harm your security as a Ugandan. And therefore, whatever actions you see security doing is in that line, that they have a duty with the leave of the Speaker.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, allow me to congratulate my colleagues. Though many of us came in different ways, others through the door, others through the window, but all the same, I congratulate everyone. The clarification I would like to seek from our Minister. Our Minister, the leader of opposition raised very important concern about the Vice Chair of Northern Uganda of NUP. She disappeared. The family is looking for where she is. What we are interested in knowing is, tell us, where is she? Where have you detained her? And what charges was preferred before her? Right now, many people are disappearing. Be straight to the point and tell us where are those who are lost, where they are. That is where we want to go. Thank you.
Well, I thought that point had been addressed by the Minister of Internal Affairs, but okay.
Colleagues, once it clocks 3 p.m., we are going back on the order paper. So, Minister, conclude.
Okay. I think police and security agencies are doing their work. If there are people who are breaching the law, police and other agencies are mandated by law to take action. What we have guided security is that if they arrest somebody, he or she should be arrested roughly and taken to gazetted centers and processed in accordance with the law. Now, cases of those you are saying have been abducted, I cannot confirm here that someone has been abducted because there is a law on missing persons. If your dear one goes missing for a number of days, the law requires you to report to police that my person is missing, and then the law commands police now to assist you in search of such a person. But the information I have, that those who are being arrested are being processed for court, and then they are charged and handled accordingly. We do not condone abducting or arresting people and keeping them in areas which are not known. That is not the position of government. But the Minister of Information, rather of Security, Internal Affairs, maybe later, can give us information regarding those cases you are reporting. Lastly, Right Honourable Speaker, you have guided on the biometric voter verification kits. I chaired a committee of cabinet that prepared that intervention of using the technology. And indeed, it is the government which initiated it, and the purpose was to ensure one person, one vote. Just supplement the efforts of voter verification. Unfortunately, on the day of voting, we got a report that there were technical hitches. I was given a report on phone as the Minister of ICT, but an agreement was made with the Electoral Commission that voting goes on using the manual register. And the failure for the machines to work on that day did not in any way injure the integrity of the exercise. Yes, but eventually the technical hitches, there were software-related technical hitches, but I think a report will come. The voting still went on because in any case, candidates are supposed to have strong agents to ensure that they oversee whatever happens, and I think the exercise went on well. But eventually the technical hitches were sorted, and in the subsequent elections for local governments, the machines are being used very effectively. But the Minister for Justice can come and give us a substantive report. But it was the intention of government, so it cannot be the same government to have changed the mind that we don't use them. Because it wasn't an idea from the opposition. It was the President himself. So I just want to assure you that it didn't injure the integrity of the elections, and going forward, the machines shall be used for any other subsequent elections. I thank you very much.
Thank you. Lop, 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Then Minister for Finance.
Right, Honourable Speaker.
Procedure. The procedure matter first.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I had thought I would raise it after the Leader of Opposition, but I thank you. When you are communicating, you informed the House about colleagues who had lost parents. I had thought, Mr. Speaker, that you are going to inform Parliament about the Honourable Mwanga Chivumbi, who was arrested.
Has he died?
Who was arrested?
Because Honourable Ssemuju just wait, because I informed colleagues about members who had lost their loved ones. So I talked about the dead. So I just want...
Mr. Speaker, it's a tradition in this parliament. In fact, in the past, even birth would be announced. When we have a colleague arrested, in the past, we have been briefed, and the parliament has offered to help. So I had thought, Mr. Speaker, and I'm not blaming you, that you will inform us about the Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi. We keep reading reports that 10 people were killed in his house. But since that matter is before court, I thought as a colleague you will need to know and demand from government an explanation regarding his circumstances, especially the ones that don't offend the law regarding people who are suspect. So that's a procedural issue, Mr. Speaker, I am raising.
You had scared me, Honorable Ssemuju. Usually how we handle these matters, we have a CID officer attached to Parliament. He gives us a report as a readership, and then from that report, we are able to follow up on such a matters. So I'm going to ask the CID officer who will share with us a report through the clerk, and we shall offer any assistance within our means as the leadership of the House, like we do for other colleagues. Yes, Honorable, allow 1 minute.
Honorable Speaker, I think it's because the modus operandi really is that for any colleague here to be arrested, someone's go through your office. But of course what we saw with the Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi is that his home was raided by the military. Thankfully, and imagine I'm saying thankfully for him, he was not disappeared away. He was taken to police and then court. Never mind that the raid was outside of the law, really. The concern about the others is they were taken and we don't know where they are. Honorable Speaker, the Minister for Information has said that the home of the Honorable Kyagulanyi is suspected to be used as a public disorder hub. Those are the words that he used. And therefore there is access control. I think you should not operate in the dark. If you think that my home has got an issue with public order, accessibility, why do you not bring me on board so that I know what can I do, what can I not do? Because now you know, but the family doesn't know. So when they come, they are banging doors, the wife refuses to open. She's thinking, are these coming in good faith or not? Eventually they break and beat her up. But when you inform the family that now these are the standard operating procedures, no one is supposed to visit you. No one is supposed to bring food for you. Then we know, and we also get to see what can we challenge. But now you know. The family does not know. Yesterday his siblings went to see him, to see the family. They were denied access. So can we know, Honorable Minister? It's not enough for you to say we have put in place access controls. To what effect? Because when I know, then tomorrow if I flout what you have laid down, if it is legal, I can be held liable.
Thank you.
Finally, Right Honorable Speaker, again, this talk of there are people inciting violence and that's why the state is operating that way. Incitement of violence is an offense in this country. Why don't you charge them? If you think the Honorable Kyagulanyi has incited violence, issue him with summons. That's what I've been saying. But for you to say he's inciting violence, that's why we shall raid his home, break things, beat up his wife. You're operating outside the law. Issue him with summons. And very finally, Right Honorable Speaker, you see, abductions, and why we call these abductions, the Minister for Internal Affairs, who was saying that, yes, I went through, even though I'm saying the process was unfair. You see, we blame Idi Amin's regime of having killed people, and yes, they did. But Idi Amin did not kill everybody who was present in the country at the time. But let me get back to my point. The reason we are calling these abductions is because how can 7 days later, 2 weeks later, families don't know where they are? Honorable Minister, you have said that you are aware that for some of these, they are being processed for court. Tell me, you quote for me a law which says you can hold somebody for 7 days, for 2 weeks. The family doesn't know. The lawyers don't know. But you're saying you're processing them for court. How is that legal? How? You help me understand. Because if you're processing them for court, The family has got to be able to access them. Lawyers should be able to access them. If they're writing statements, they have a right to have legal counsel with them. But you're saying 10 days later, you're processing them for court. We don't know the state in which they are. Family cannot access them. You, with due respect, the Honorable Minister should be ashamed of telling us these things that are outside the law. You should be apologizing the same way you're saying government, if it apologized to you and you forgive them. You should be saying, let's...
Honorable Minister, for information.
The ROP doesn't qualify to lecture me in this house. You don't. I thought you had to make it. Okay, give order.
Right, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable, I haven't allowed you, please. No, I haven't. You ask when you're seated. No, just first sit. Because you see, when you stand up, you access a microphone, you remain standing, you need to first take your position. Colleagues, we've been moving well. This shouldn't be an exchange just between the two colleagues. Honorable Baryomunsi, please wait. Honorable Baryomunsi, wait. Honorable Minister, wait a bit. Yeah. Now, the problem I'm seeing, Honorable colleagues, the problem I'm seeing, it seems we prefer talking to each other on microphones and in the public. But we are colleagues. We are colleagues. I don't think Lope, you call General Muhoozi here, and he refuses to pick your call. Oh, General Muhoozi, you call Lope. Oh, Honorable Baryomunsi. Because now what we are doing, we are exchanging before the public or the Prime Minister. You know, I think let us also use other means beyond the cameras and the microphones to help our colleagues, to be honest. And we have resolved very many issues that way. You know? So I request, Honorable Sarira is telling me accountability is on camera. Please, Eslop.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. The Honorable Baryomunsi is attempting to intimidate me. Obviously, he will not succeed to intimidate Joel Ssenyonyi. When he says that I am in no place to lecture him, but who have I lectured here? I am raising critical issues of concern to all of us, matters of law. So how do you say that I'm now standing up to lecture you? I'm quoting for you the law. And that is the critical concern. Why do you not address, I don't know if it's in order to try and address my person. I'm not attacking you. If it were him as Minister of Information, I would still raise the issues of concern to him. Why do you not raise these issues of concern when we say, no, these are not arrests?
Thank you.
Can I be allowed to finish a point of order, sir? I was processing the point of order.
Honorable colleagues, please. No, please.
It's important I raise...
Conclude.
Because I don't want him to again make it seem like it's a personal issue. No, it is a matter of law. And why we are concerned, when people are abducted and for days on end we don't see them, they might end up becoming like John Bosco Chibalama, whom the Prime Minister said he was arrested. Up to now, she has never accounted for him. 6 years later. That's why we are concerned. I don't want the same thing that happened to Chibalama to happen to Lina Zedriga.
Thank you. Now, no, Honorable Baryomunsi, I have to rule. There is a point of order against you. Yes. So, honorable colleagues, now, Honorable Ssenyonyi made my work even more difficult in terms of ruling, because he said that he cannot be intimidated. So since Honorable Baryomunsi cannot intimidate you, let us ignore it. We take it as a passing, you know. Okay? Yeah. So Honorable Baryomunsi, please.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I think what I said, and the LP should listen, I said there are arrests being made and are being processed in accordance with the law so that the suspects appear in court. That's what I said. Secondly, I said the government of Uganda does not abduct. But if your dear one goes missing, there is a law which guides you on how you can report police, and the police can assist you to look for that person. I am alive to the law in this country as a member of parliament. So if you are saying there is an abduction, it is your word against us. We are not aware of an abduction. But if your person has gone missing, report police. Then the police can help you to look for the person.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Otherwise, those who are being arrested are taken to court, charged, and processed accordingly.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Honourable Minister for Finance.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I want to comment about the budget timelines. But before I do that, let me also take this opportunity to congratulate you